Lil Baby, the face of 4PF, his label, a rapper people once looked at as rap's next superstar, and I mean it was believable. He had hits on hits, he had an insane fan base. Anytime you was around anybody, they liked Lil Baby. Everybody loved Lil Baby, and people really felt like that for a long time, until that empire he built fell apart. As the years done went on, we would see Lil Baby start to change. People would not only get tired of the music he was dropping, feeling like he was making the same song over and over again, but he would also have the part to play. Lil Baby kind of went on a path to ruin his life. I mean, the legal problems Lil Baby been in is something you never want to see. Right now, it's rumors going around that he might get put in a RICO, and it's only a matter of time until it happens. Lil Baby been around for years. I'm talking about 2017, 2018, Lil Baby was really buzzing. He would start dropping songs, hit songs, and I mean, his music at the time was getting so much attention, him and Drake would come out dropping music. Remember Pikachu? Him and Drake dropped this big ass song 2018, everybody loved it. That song is still a song that people remember to this day. But as the years would go on, we would see Lil Baby mold his career into something good. A person a lot of hip hop would respect and listen to. But that don't mean all of his real life was good. Starting back in 2019, well, even years before that, we would see Lil Baby get arrested. I'm not finna dig into Lil Baby past before the rap game, but just know he was a street dude who got arrested a lot. Back in 2019, we would see Lil Baby get arrested for the first time since his career was popping. Bro would get pulled over, couple charges put on him, and this arrest was caught on camera. They had Lil Baby face down in the street while handcuffing him. This pretty much what happened. Lil Baby was out in Atlanta. Cops was watching. They said he was driving a little too crazy, speeding through traffic, swerving in and out the way, and cops seen it. They tried to pull over Lil Baby. Lil Baby tried to take off. He couldn't take off because it was too much traffic. So he pulled over, the cops cuffed him. This was TMZ wrote. Cops say a Corvette sped past the trooper and swerved in and out of traffic at a high rate of speed before getting stuck in traffic. But as the trooper finally caught up, the Corvette tried accelerating and change lanes, but was unable to due to the traffic. That's when the trooper told Lil Baby, "Get your ass out of this car, lay down." And that's what he did. He laid on the ground, he got arrested, he didn't try to fight him, he just got booked. They say he was charged with failure to use turn signal, reckless driving, and fleeing or attempting to elude. But this situation would be the first of many times we would see Lil Baby get into it with the law publicly. But even past that arrest, that man was really locked in. He really grew his career into something many artists can't even achieve. This man was such a big, successful rapper that in 2020, he was basically running the whole rap game, no over-exaggeration. He would drop My Turn, his biggest album ever. Everybody was listening to it. Everybody was in the house enjoying this Lil Baby album. And I mean, My Turn was so successful that right now, it's almost dominant. But 2020 wouldn't just be successful. He would also face some interesting life problems. September 2022, he would get into it with his baby mama over the custody of his son. Lil Baby had been going back and forth with his baby mama over a kid they had. She was on child support, he was on full custody, and that was really a battle he was facing that year. Article wrote this: Lil Baby going to war with his baby mama of his 5-year-old child now was gone beyond social media squabbles. They taking it to court. The rapper been going back and forth with his baby mama for weeks. She accusing him of failing to pay for their son's schooling, which resulted in him allegedly being kicked out. And she was seeking declaration of paternity and child support from Lil Baby. And this is where the money come into play. She was claiming Lil Baby got over $4 million, which includes money he made on various endorsement deals. She says that one of these deals involved the use of a photo of their son. She claims that Lil Baby owns at least 7 luxury vehicles, including $2 million Lamborghinis. By contrast, she makes less than $25K a year. But Lil Baby will come back at this claiming that he already covers all of the expenses for the care, support, and maintenance of their son, along with providing regular support payments. So bro was at the height of his career, but facing problems with his son probably was hurting him, probably was bothering him in the back of his mind. He was facing something like a lot of other rappers face now. Now, this ain't no drama channel, so I'm not finna dig into this baby mama drama, but just know he was facing these kind of problems on and off for years. But at the same time he would be facing these problems, he would also be getting a lot of praise from the industry. Remember what I said, this was back in 2020. And Lil Baby was real public about like the George Floyd situation. When he passed away, Lil Baby made a song speaking on black problems, the bigger picture. And he was real political. He had an impact on the game at this time. He got a lot of praise for the song, and I mean, it was deserved. He made a song of substance in an era of no substance. And people appreciated it. People appreciated this song so much that he performed it at the Grammys. But that positive streak ain't last long. A few months after this, Lil Baby would get into a wild situation, a viral situation. He would get arrested once again. But it wasn't just Lil Baby. Lil Baby and James Harden got arrested in Paris. Lil Baby, James Harden, they out in Paris. They end up getting swarmed by cops out of nowhere. Cops start searching them. You know what they find? They found some za. Some za they wasn't supposed to have. It said that Lil Baby had 20 grams in the car. And the cops ain't like that. James Harden ended up getting off the hook. But Lil Baby and some other people he was with had to sit. Now, this situation wasn't nothing crazy, but this man was playing a real dangerous game. Bringing drugs into another country where you probably don't even know their laws, that's a dangerous game to play. Remember what happened to Brittany Griner? They was trying to give her ass 9 years over a weed pen that wasn't even real weed. So for you to be having za in a country that's not the United States, you don't know what their laws is, you don't know how they feel about black people, you don't know none of that. That's a crazy situation to be in. But we barely even into the 2020s. Lil Baby getting locked up in other countries, personal drama, all of that. But the music was still hitting. People still liked him. But as time would go on, the word in their relationship with Lil Baby would kind of start to sour. Yeah, he was his big artist. Yeah, he was still dropping solid music. But that don't mean people would stay that way. We'll have Lil Baby kind of fall into the same effect we done seen other artists fall into, sounding the same. We had Lil Baby getting accused of making the same song over and over again. These allegations getting put on him, and as the years would go on, it would only build up. So just keep this in the back of your mind for right now. Because as 2022 will come along, we will see Lil Baby pull a real interesting move. I mean, the whole year was interesting for him, but something I ain't speak on yet was Lil Baby's relationship with Gunna and Young Thug. Throughout his whole career, he was always close with these two. I mean, he really came up with Gunna. They was locked in. It was like brothers. They had projects together. For years, people would look at Lil Baby and Gunna as a duo. There was a time where if you was gonna see Lil Baby, you was gonna see Gunna right with him. And so they brothers, they close. People thinking they just gonna be dropping hit songs, dropping great music forever, until the rumors came out about Gunna snitching. If you remember, Gunna, Young Thug, YSL got hit with a RICO. RICO going on, they get locked up. Gunna get in front of the judge, he tell the judge, you know, YSL is a game, it's not just a record label. He gets out. Whole music industry looking at Gunna like a rat. Industry hating him. But he prevailed, and Gunna got out. He was dropping music that was so good, people couldn't hate him no more. So when everybody hating on Gunna, Lil Baby jumped right on that hate train. He would start calling him a rat. He would distance himself from Gunna. Lil Baby dissing Gunna all the time. Like just a few months ago, December 2024, he would come out saying that him and Gunna don't got no relationship no more and that they will never make music again. Billboard wrote this. Lil Baby and Gunna may never make music again. While sitting down with Charlamagne in his Out of Context interview series, the media personality asked Lil Baby about his relationship with Gunna and if they'll ever make music again. However, Lil Baby ain't optimistic about giving fans a follow-up to their critically acclaimed mixtape Drip Harder from 2018. We ain't got no relationship, Lil Baby said. Then Charlamagne went on to question Lil Baby about the internet saying Lil Baby can't make no hits without Gunna. Lil Baby would say can't make no hits without Gunna. The internet will say anything. You know how many hits I got? So that don't even make sense. And you know what's crazy? Lil Baby would go on this whole Gunna hate train basically, and Young Thug's dad, that nigga real dad, would come out telling Lil Baby to stop speaking on Gunna because he don't know what's going on. He wasn't there at them court days with Young Thug. He wasn't there during none of this, so he shouldn't have no place to speak on nothing.
How do you feel about Lil Baby throwing shots at Gunna for his plea deal?
He need to shut the fuck up, cause he don't know what's going on. You know, he's going off of what he heard. Ask Lil Baby, have he ever came to a court date? That's what I want y'all to ask these goddamn rappers and these bloggers with this whole snitch and this. When have y'all went to a court date to support Slime, to support Jeffrey, to support Thug, however you want to name it? Go on their social media pages and say, why in the haven't you been at the courthouse to support your dude? So that's how I feel. Everybody that hasn't been there needs to shut the up about Gunna.
And like what Lil Baby said, the internet did have a big part to play in this negative narrative around Lil Baby, because at the same time him and Gunna would be falling out, we would have their careers on opposite ends of the spectrum. Yeah, Gunna snitched, but Gunna was dropping hit songs. Gunna was dropping albums so good it was undeniable. But at that same time, we would have Lil Baby. He out here dropping music that people not liking too much. People thinking, oh, Lil Baby, you sound the same, my nigga. You need to evolve. So their careers was kind of on different sides of the table. People was like, maybe it is true that Lil Baby can't make hits without Gunna. And this wasn't a one-off situation. This was something a lot of people had to say. And Lil Baby would not make these allegations no better. Lil Baby will come out in 2022 and drop his first solo album in like 2 years. Like I said, fans had already lost a lot of faith in him. But when he comes out and he drops his new album, It's Only Me, it sells well, but it didn't age well. It didn't really resonate with the fans like his last few albums, like My Turn, like Drip Harder.
Is not reflected in how homogenous it sounds from end to end. Granted, there are a few beats that stick out here and there, but there's not so much a variety across this LP that you would assume this many people had their hand in it. Digging deeper into the album, instrumentally as well as vocally, you really do have to wonder, what are tracks like No Fly Zone as well as FR adding at this point in the album that the previous 16 songs or so didn't already bring to the table? In my opinion, not much. Why are they even here? It feels not so much like we're making an album and more just playing into this algorithmic crapshoot where we throw as many songs out there as we can in hopes that like one of them pops off. I'm feeling a light to decent 4 on this one.
And it wasn't just YouTubers feeling like this either. There were fans that felt this way. People were like, you know, this album is decent, but it just feels real recycled. It's just Lil Baby doing the same thing. It feels very uninspired. And people felt the way, and it hurt Lil Baby. But as he would be getting all of this backlash, it would start up a very interesting beef. Lil Baby and DJ Academics.
Excellent, man.
Got hit with the Rico. Lil Baby tried to pull away from the brand, and he was like, you know what? Young Thug got hit with this Rico. I don't want to get hit with a Rico, so I'm about to shut all this shit down. He was like, 4PF is no more. He would turn around and start something else. He would start a record label that was just a record label called Glass Window Entertainment.
4PF to Glass Ceiling, and obviously
Glass Window.
And it's obviously can't be with. Why? What's the difference spoken on that change?
Can't be with. It's a way of life.
Right.
It's not a label. It's not a nothing. It's not a nothing. It's a way of life. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't like, you can't. I mean, girls say they can't be with everybody. It's just that's just that way of life. 4 Pockets Full had to come to an end. You know what I'm saying?
When you say of course, I mean, why you say of course?
Because all the shit that be going on, and I had to start learning that like other people's actions, I could be held accountable for.
Right.
I ain't know all that at first. You know what I'm saying? I never would have went that route, but I ain't know. You know what I'm saying? Now that I know, I'd be a fool to just keep the same thing going. You know what I'm saying? They trying to make something out of something that it ain't.
Right.
Like, if I got any kind of control of, hey, we gonna switch that. Ain't even just about the police, no, it's just period. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never was supposed to make my label something that I talk about, because who I am. And even like now, the young guys, when I meet them and new artists who gonna start their own label, I'm telling them, hey, start your label with something that don't got nothing to do with nothing or nobody but your artist. Nobody ain't tell me that. I ain't know nothing about that. I ain't really understand it. So now I'm telling them, like, hey, if you gonna start your label, don't call your label the same thing you call your crew or your homeboys who grew up together. Y'all don't do that. Because the way they trying to set it up as a system, they gonna try to use it as a game. You know what I'm saying? And it's really to like target. And there's some people who do act as gangs. So I get it, but that ain't everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But so what's so ironic, I got 4 Pockets Full from my roommate in jail, right? I used to make him rap for me. And one time he was like, 4 Pockets Full. And I'm like, what the hell that come? I'm like, what that is? He like, yeah, it's just something I be saying, like 4 Pockets Full. That's how I even became a rapper. Like, I've been running around 4 Pockets Full for real.
Yeah.
Like, I always had 20 bands on me, 5 racks in each pocket, like
Football player.
On a bad day.
Right.
So to me, that was just my way of life. Like, I love that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's my slogan. Like, I always had slogans, like, cause it just give you a motivation. Like, from the beginning, I always been hit hard, move silent. You know what I'm saying? I got that from one of my big dogs. It's never like nobody else gonna say they hit hard move style. It's just what I do. Like, that's my way of life.
I think Lil Baby was just a little too late because, as we would see, throughout 2025, the feds would really be trying to make an example out of him. 2 months ago in February, we would see Lil Baby get into a real bad situation. Atlanta would be trying to pin a body on him.
Investigation aspect of this, Lamont Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes before gang violence ultimately took his life. Gang violence that was orchestrated by adults in our city, and cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been. And in the subsequent days, we saw homicides and shootings, and ultimately the deaths of 2 children as a result of his cowardly actions. And you know who you are. And I tell you that this team will work relentlessly to hold you and the persons that you are affiliated with responsible for those actions.
So these rumors coming out, we got a Lil Baby team trying to come back at these rumors, trying to shut them all down. But the rumors was there. TMZ wrote this. Lawyers for Lil Baby are firing back at the Atlanta Police Department, claiming that the rapper had absolutely nothing to do with last year's gang-related murder. Lil Baby's attorneys called the police accusations complete and total nonsense to say that he couldn't shoot a music video in his hometown, a place that he loves and has continued to uplift, is disgraceful. Even more, the location for the major music video shoot is a decision made by a professional team and not a decision made by any individual. He's probably thinking, damn, that's bad. They was trying to put a body on Lil Baby. That wasn't the end of his problems though. Fast forward to just a few weeks ago. The rumors would go from that situation to Lil Baby name allegedly being put in RICO. They said that Lil Baby was probably gonna get hit with a RICO and it was only a matter of time before it happened. This is what All Hip Hop wrote. According to a deep dive by veteran reporter George Cheedy, things are hitting up and there might be soon raining indictments on Lil Baby and his affiliates from OMF and the notorious 4PF. Sean Hoover, the top guy at Georgia Public Defender's gang-focused legal squad, didn't mince words about the situation. Hoover openly acknowledged that they're actively preparing for serious racketeering charges. Lil Baby could be famous for all the wrong reasons. The gruesome murder of Keontae Davis last Friday, March 28th, brought all of this to a head. Davis was neck deep in legal drama surrounding the 2020 murder of Jaquavius Wilson, another tragic death in a deadly feud between OMF and 4PF. This is deeper than rap. Now, that sounds really bad. They putting a lot of bodies on 4PF and Lil Baby name. They saying 4PF had a part to play in this, 4PF had a part to play in that. And even if Lil Baby himself didn't tell him to go do this or told him to go do that, he's still the face of 4PF. They looking at him like, you the gang leader, my nigga. We're gonna cook you. Now, since then, we ain't really had no updates on the situation, but it's only been a few weeks. Stuff like this take months, years even. And it's not looking good for Lil Baby career freedom-wise. I seen the video the other day. Nigga posted, he was like, Lil Baby just need to leave the USA. Remember when Lil Durk got locked up and basically he was kind of testing the waters? He would book 2 separate flights on 2 different parts of the country at the same time to see if the feds were looking for him, and they worked. People are saying, Lil Baby, you might have to get up out of here before it really get too deep. But that don't excuse the fact that he caused this, he brought this upon himself. Like I say in other videos, there's some shit that should have never happened. If we're gonna be honest, these rappers be having too much money, too much success to even be surrounded with anybody from the street. Y'all niggas be too rich to be still hanging around these people that all they got is the streets. You got everything to lose, they have nothing to lose. You making these people 4PF members, but they still in the streets. That's gonna fall back on you. I don't know, who knows what's next for Lil Baby, but it ain't looking too hot for his career. I'm not gonna lie. Similar to the artist from my last video, Baby Keem. Baby Keem, now, he wasn't in all of this controversy like Lil Baby, but Baby Keem would come out and really kind of start up a successful rap career. He feeding the fans, he building a fan base, but instead of getting locked up or instead of getting canceled, the man just disappeared. He won a Grammy and never followed up the album. He won a Grammy and never dropped more music. So right now, fans is wondering, is he done? Did he quit? Why did he abandon his career? If you want to hear more about that, the vid on screen right now.